we can do an opening statement. I'm proud of the fight of these guys. I think Brian Fish said it the best after the game. He said the second half, compared to the first half and compared to the first game, like the first times that our team wasn't actively looking for Jalen. And when you've got a guy that's a workhorse like that, he's a grown man in the sense of his age, his body, his experience, his physicality, but his confidence. And it takes a lot out of you. You know, when you don't, guys like Jalen and Aaron, they make you feel safer, right? And great players I've had, that's a big part of leadership, is how much safer you feel playing with them. And players aren't going to look at it that way, but I, as a coach, look at it that way because it projects confidence in those guys. So I'm proud of the way we fought it out. They were fourth in the country. I think they're shooting. There's 46% of their points come from the 3-point line, which is fourth in the country. Their 3-point rate was fourth in the country, and they went way beyond that tonight, you know, with the 46 threes that they took. But we made the stops that we had to make. It was a bit of a pick our poison type of game because we didn't want to get into an overhelp situation because of how many threes they take. We kept telling our team that it's like an Alabama game. You know, it's an Alabama team that tries to create penetration. And if you help, they're going to kick it and they get the ball swinging. And if you don't help, they're going to go to the rim. And so for us, we adjusted. We had a really good finish to the game with the scoring. And they were mixing defenses and our guys were really active and playing through it. And I'm proud we got this one under our belt now because I didn't like our confidence at all on Saturday night. And I thought our confidence came alive in this game.
Okay, we're going to go into questions. First, we're going to go to Anthony Dasher, and then we're going to go to Mark Weiser.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
Hi, you too.
You know, whenever we've asked you about replacing Jalen, you mentioned Dalen as being a guy you were going to kind of look for and then want to see some more from. He played with a lot more confidence tonight as well. Hit the 2 big threes, played with a lot of energy on the court. What difference can he bring if he continues on that track?
Well, there's a couple of things, and I think it's another one. Brian Fish said it best. He said he's been proved more in the last 5 days than he has in 5 months, and it's because of that confidence, right? And the injury that he had really set him back. It set him back mobility-wise, contact-wise, physicality, all those different things. And so really, as we started to see Dalen more in the summer and in the fall, we're starting to think, okay, this could be January before he can be helpful. And we use Keon Ellis as an example from Alabama, even though Keon hadn't been hurt, but it took a little bit of time for a junior college player to really get adjusted to it. I think Dalen would have been fine earlier on if he was fully healthy, but he hasn't been. And I think you're going to see more athleticism come out and even things like that. But I thought the first or second 3 that he hit, you could just see a glow in him. I know I slapped hands with him as he's running down the floor. I mean, I'm just so happy to see that because he's not overly confident yet at this level. And for him to be successful, he's got to have that confidence. So he started to show it. So when you look at the game and you look at the 2 guys that are playing the 4 spot, Noah with 11 rebounds, like, I don't know if he did that since grade school, right? But somewhere back out west, he might have had 11 boards in a CYO game in the 8th grade, but he did a fantastic job, and we moved him around tonight. But for those 2 at the 4 spot to combine for 16 and 20, after going, I think 17 and 10 the other night, that's good. That's good, and because Noah's played that position for us, and Dalen hasn't those minutes, and I thought we did a good job of subbing Braylon more earlier. You know, we've got 2 people on that right now on the bench because we've got a guy pushing him to go harder, and we've got a guy looking and say, when do we got to get him out? Because we need him, right? We need him. And he's just where he's at. He's not able to play long stretches, but he had enough to really do a great job at the end. And again, we took him out. Dalen played the 5 at one spot. He hasn't even played that in practice for us. So we're a little makeshift right now, but to find a way to win the game, and it's not important who we're playing. It's important that we found a way to win the game. And I think that's what we've got to have to build our confidence.
Tom, you mentioned the value of having Aaron Cook, you know, especially with Jalen out now. When he got in the portal, I mean, was it pretty fast that you knew, and he had 12 assists tonight, I guess, that you knew this is a guy that you really wanted to get in your program?
Oh, absolutely. We tried to get him a year ago, that we didn't get very far. When he left Southern and went to Gonzaga, we tried to get involved, but absolutely we did. Absolutely. And we were on some other guys, and I've said this before, and it works out this way. There were some guys that we didn't go on because we still had severe, and that was really, at the end of the day, the only thing that I was concerned about is okay, are we going to be Severe's good? Are we going to be able to replace him? Because what I didn't want to do is bring in another small guard out of the portal, and then all of a sudden Severe's gone. And so for Aaron to be available, for us to beat the schools that we beat to get him, like Arizona, it came down to the two of us at the end. St. Louis was in it, Wake Forest was in it. That was big because he had a really, really good second half for us. But we're glad to have him. Our last three signees were big tonight: Aaron Cook, Dalen Ridgenell, and Carrie Oquendo.
Okay, next we're gonna go to Lance McCurley and then Jack Leo, and then we're gonna finish out with Drew Beal.
Just kind of another question about Dalen. He's very soft-spoken. I think that was the first interview that I've gotten to interact with him. Just kind of talk
It might
about
have been
him.
his first interview ever.
Yeah, just kind of talk
No,
about.
he's a great kid. Let me tell you another thing about this kid. Let me tell you another thing about Dalen. Okay, from junior college, he just busted out a 3.1. Right? I mean, that's some impressive. This is not an easy school. Okay, for those of you that go here, you know that this is not easy. And we just had a semester. It's the best semester that we've had. And for a kid like Dalen to come into this school and get a 3.1, that's even, when I found that out tonight, I mean, that's even bigger to me than what he did, almost getting a double-double in 12 minutes. But he is soft-spoken, but he's humble, he's hungry, and he's a rarity. He's a rarity in society today as he asks questions. He knows he needs help when it comes to the tutoring and the mentoring. If he doesn't understand something, he asks. And that's what's beautiful about him. He's got a humble spirit. He's got a great heart, and we're happy to have him.
Yeah, Coach, just what adjustments were made late to help you guys pull away a little bit there in the final stretch?
I think where we put Noah in the zone. I think the fact that Braylon could finish the game for us was big. I think Cario was attacking the rim, and that made the threes better. I just think the way we passed the ball. I mean, couple first, and I'm not sure I've coached against a team that took 46 threes. And this might be the first time. It's got to be a low on turnovers for us, but it might be the first time we've had 20 assists. I'm really not certain, but the ball was really moving well. And that's what we have to have. So I don't know if it was an adjustment as much. We moved some people around, in the zone. So that was adjusted. We started working on that yesterday. But I think the fact of the way that ball was moving inside out, we had 48 paint touches, which was the high for us. And eventually we want to get into the mid 50s, but 48 was high. 43 was our high previously on Saturday night against George Mason. So when that ball's touching the paint, it really doesn't matter what you're running. It's getting into the paint, it's getting out for threes, or it's getting into a drop-off situation, then it's good. And so it wasn't an adjustment as much as it was just playing cleaner and playing the way that we practiced to play.
Hey, Coach, the team only let up 2 offensive rebounds after letting up 9 in the first half. You did that in large part with a small ball lineup on the floor. Can you talk a little bit about how some guys were able to come together and rebound as a team?
Yeah, that's big. And they got more 2s, right? I mean, they were getting the 3s, and we didn't guard the dribble as well. But what we were really into is not over helping, and because that's when they just start spraying the ball around. And they did it a few times. They're really good at that. And their coach wasn't here. Justin Gray wasn't here, but he's a fantastic coach. I've known him since he was 20 years of age when I coached with Kelvin Sampson and Dan Munson on a World University Games team. We won a gold medal. We had Justin, Eric Williams, who was one of his teammates, and Chris Paul on the team. And so for them to play fast, be well coached, even without him, I'm not surprised at all. But we did a good job defensive rebounding the other night. I think John Bateman told me we're plus 17 on the glass the last 2 games. And we've got to continue to build on that.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.